Yes, Scott's here. We're battling against the lawnmowers, which are only about 10 yards away from us, so forgive the noise. But Scott, welcome back to the first team, first of all. How did you find that today?
Yeah, it was a difficult game to come back into, but just delighted to be back out there. I thought for large parts of the game we controlled the ball well, but obviously they did have quite a few chances and we rode our luck at times, and ultimately it was disappointing to concede a goal with 10 minutes to go. Yeah,
when you get that close, then it really kind of emphasises the disappointment that you couldn't quite hold on, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it's still a good point for us at the end of the day, but when you have rode your luck for a couple of times in the second half, I think we just need to be a bit more streetwise and make sure we see the game out and take all 3 points. But as I said, a point against a good opposition, it's not the worst result for us.
There's a moment maybe when Sammy Amiobi has his effort from 20 odd yards and the goalkeeper tips it over, that if that goes in it's 2-0, different game perhaps from then.
Yeah, completely. I thought we actually had a couple of decent breaks in the second half as well. I think Cyrus Christie had a shot that went just wide, so it wasn't like it was backs against the wall the full game. We did create a couple of opportunities as well. Strong
though, aren't they? And they threw strong players off the bench. Yaku Maite is a handful.
Yeah, definitely. The strength that comes off the bench, the strength to start with. They're a good opposition, but ultimately we are disappointed we've dropped 2 points, but it was a very good team we were playing.
As we say, from your point of view, it's a tough old game to come back into, but as you say, pleased to be back in action now.
Yeah, I'm delighted to be back. Obviously I picked up a couple of injuries this season and I've missed far more games than I would have liked, but that's just part of the life of being a professional footballer, and I'm just delighted to firstly be back in training a couple of weeks ago, but now get the opportunity to come back in the team.
I think this one was, you picked it up in training as well. That must be that's a frustrating thing, isn't it, for a footballer?
Yeah, very frustrating, especially with no one round about me either. Just the way I landed, went over on my ankle, and all of a sudden you're out for 6 weeks. It is frustrating, but as I said, that's what happens in football sometimes.
And as you say, you've only been back in training for a couple of weeks. How did you find it out there?
Yeah, obviously towards the end of the game you naturally start to fatigue a bit. There's nothing you can do in training that matches a proper match against a decent opposition on a Saturday. There's nothing that can match that, so hopefully I can just build up more minutes and start to get back to full fitness.
Yeah, because there's another big game coming up on Wednesday, so I suppose it's about recovery, isn't it? When you haven't played a game for so long, you've got to get the recovery right.
Yeah, definitely, but we've got top sports scientists, top physios and people that'll look after me and make sure I'm ready for that.
We should ask you about the armband, Scott, because the manager gave you that captain's armband today. That's special.
Yeah, absolutely delighted to be captain. Obviously, me being captain means there's a couple of boys missing, which isn't ideal, but to be given that trust from the manager, it filled me with full of confidence.